things conversational.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I am here.
Yeah. I'm Steve,
I'm Greg.
and today we've got a subject, that was given to us.
Yeah, we've been doing this a little bit lately.
We've been going to others to get subject matter because sometimes us talking about things isn't necessarily, what other people want to hear. And
Yeah, but also your wife had a really good topic or a topic that we felt went really well when we recorded earlier.
yeah, so
I think it.
we took two kicks at the can and asked her for another one.
Yeah. So she was calling herself a one-person think tank.
Yeah, yeah.
She kicked out some good ideas, some ideas that we didn't want to prep for, and ultimately,
This is prep free week.
this is a prep-free week. I
This,
agree.
this we got a lot going on.
I'm not gonna lie. I've almost checked out because of my upcoming weekend, and I'm
Listen, you got no kids for the weekend. At your point, I would have checked out on Tuesday. I would have conned somebody to come and take care of the kids for 4. I gotta go. Gotta go.
I'm needed elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah.
So this week, though, we wanted to talk a little bit about how to weather the storm and stay positive during some tough times.
Yeah, I listen. Everywhere you turn right now, the world is negative.
Yeah.
You turn on the news, and listen. I'm a news junkie. I'm a political junkie. I know what's going on around the world, and even I'm at my tipping point where,
Really?
yeah, I
Oh
cannot
no.
I I had to turn the news off yesterday. I was watching it on one of the devices, and I nearly chucked the device across the room because I can't. I'm at the point where every time I turn on the news, I feel like somebody's lying to me.
Okay.
Um, whether it's a politician, whether it's,
A
somebody
news
putting a spin on
anchor.
news
Yeah.
anchor, whatever the case may be, everywhere I go, it's the perspective is my perspective, and my perspective only is the only thing that matters, and it doesn't matter how it affects other people. And American politics right now is such a disaster, and it's affecting everywhere in the world. I
Yeah.
mean, I talked to a couple of suppliers about getting something, and they literally told me that they can't get the product anymore because they can't get the material from the
From the
company that
U.S.
manufactures it from the US because of the oil shortage now that's starting to creep into some of the manufacturing
We were talking
processes.
about this a couple weeks ago that we were gonna not feel the full ripple effect of the stuff in the Middle East for X amount of weeks, right?
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks, and now we're there. And
Yeah.
now we're starting to see these effects, and I don't think that we realize how much that is going to affect our day to day life. Going to affect food supply chains. It's going to affect the price of gases.
Hmm.
When I drove in here this morning, $1.88
I know.
a
You guys
liter.
carpooled in, right?
Yeah, mostly so that Aiden could take the Jeep to school.
Oh, no way.
Oh yeah, it had nothing to do with carpooling.
But it
She
is,
was, but it's something we're
it's something
cognizant
that you
of
were
now.
going probably like, oh, that also.
Saves us a little bit of
Sure.
money, right? And that's the thing is, we've gotten to the point now in our life where we're starting to say, is that really necessary to go driving
Sure.
there, right? Like we both drive vehicles that
So
are not exactly the most fuel
the topic
efficient.
of that, like sometimes I like to take a phone call while driving.
Yep,
It,
I like it too.
it's for whatever reason,
Yep.
you can rip down a road, an easy road, and you can have the conversation and it moves. And the other day I was going to have one. My wife had just gotten back from fueling up. She was at Costco, whatever, and she was like, fuel was whatever it was. I don't remember what,
Yeah.
but she goes, "You're going to go for a drive right now?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
And, and
ah.
and we got even we used to pick up Aiden's girlfriend all the time. Now Aiden's got his license and he can go. And I've just said to him, like, we can't be doing all the driving.
Yeah.
Right? The burden has to be shared. And listen, we're not by any stretch of the imagination. People are struggling. We're not at the point where we're struggling, so I don't
Well,
want it to seem like that
my nephew just
perspective of it.
got back from, I think it was Iceland.
Oh boy, I can only imagine.
He was saying it was like 280 a liter there.
Yeah, in
And I was like,
Alaska,
what?
Alaska right now is $6.50 US a gallon.
That's like double the price. They're normally $3-4.
Yeah, yeah, a lot. Like 6.55 a gallon in Alaska was the last number I saw. Now, whether or not that's still the
Right. But
case,
at some point it was there.
right? So, like everywhere we turn, and I did my sales meetings this week, and I said to them, I said, listen, this is going to be one of those months where I'm not going to have a lot of great news for you. Like we've got changes going on regulatory wise, we've got market challenges, the just the general feeling of talking to people is, I don't know if negative's the right word, but defeated. I think a lot of
Tough to
people
find a
feel
silver lining.
yeah, I think a lot of people wake up in the morning I've said this a million times. I wake up in the morning, I wake up being positive. The day's going to be good. The day's going to go well, and it doesn't matter what happens. Something negative
Mhm,
through that day. By the end of the day, you're like, I just don't know how much more of this I can take.
mhm.
So how do you get through that? How do you say, like,
Well, the other part of it that I wanna pile on is it happens in the world outside of work, but because of all these additional things happening in the real estate market, there's doom and gloom at work as well, and
yeah,
so
you
for
don't
us,
escape it.
you can't escape this
Yeah,
these tough times, and the part that we're kind of wanting to hit on is, 1, like, everybody's experiencing this.
yeah,
You're not alone, uh, but how can you find the silver lining, fight through these tough market conditions. And we're saying tough market conditions because this is what we see day to day.
yeah,
This is the kind of world we're in, right? Where um, for us, we just talked about some regulatory changes coming from the brokerage on this and this type of lending,
yeah,
and things are getting tighter on the lending side. Lenders are requiring more
yeah,
documentation, more things to support loans, even loans that are on paper low risk.
yeah.
You guys are experiencing a tough market where listings, 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 buyers are
Yeah, and
trickier to come by.
we still got COVID lag, right? Like we're still battling is there enough money to even sell this house,
Yeah.
right? So you wake up in the morning, you go to work, and you're like, it's gonna be tough today, right? And so the question becomes is what do you do
Mhm.
to remain positive? How do you get the consumer? Because I think part of it's consumer confidence, which is really hurting us in some ways, right? Because the consumer's not confident in the decisions that they're making right now, or they're just avoiding making the decision altogether and just saying, I'm
Well,
good. I'm going to stay
it
where I
ties
am."
to your consumer confidence statement though, right? They don't wanna make the decision because they go, "I don't wanna make the wrong decision," I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
They go, "I'm just gonna wait until I have a little more clarity, a little more of a trend on the data that I can feel comfortable making this decision on."
And those are for the data driven people, right?
Yeah.
Not everyone's data driven. Like, there's people out there that are, it's an emotional thing for them,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And I'm moving because, not because of money, not because of my job. I'm just moving because it feels like those people don't exist right now. They've hunkered down and said,
I'm staying just
I'm gonna
because.
ride. Yeah, I'm saying just because I'm gonna ride out the storm with what I know, right? And I think that for us as people who've got to go out, and kind of shepherd the flock, for lack of a better term, to positive outcomes.
Mhm.
There's so many times when there isn't a positive outcome that, how do you kind of say to that person, it may not happen, right? Like,
Yeah.
just because you want it to happen, it may not happen. And I think that's a hard thing. I've got a client right now. I said to her yesterday, I said, we got to drop the price, right? Like, we
Mhm,
got to drop
mhm.
the price. And her response was, okay, but this is the last one. And I wanted to say to her, I feel
Maybe,
your pain.
maybe
Maybe,
not.
maybe not. Like, maybe now's not the time for you to be doing it, and maybe you should, just bite the bullet and
Yeah.
do this or do this or do this, because it's not necessarily, the people aren't not looking at the house because it's not priced right. They're not looking at the house because, for whatever reason,
Sure.
right? Because the value's there, but to the consumer, the value's not there enough,
Yeah,
right?
that's a really good point. Like, you might be able to justify that the value's there at that price point, but clearly, everybody else who is on the buying side doesn't have as much confidence in that,
Yeah,
or there isn't as much perceived value for the dollar.
yeah.
So, I
So how do you remain positive
how do you remain positive and
as a
how.
business person? Let's focus on that, because
Yeah.
I don't think we can deal with the
No, I
consumer
I
stuff.
I
I think
think you're right. I
that's
think the focus is on our business side, and we go, how does somebody who's running their own business come in and continue to push forward and to make it fun.
Okay. All right. So I think making it fun is as much as you can would really help.
Yeah.
I think the first thing you got to do is you got to eliminate the noise.
Okay.
There's a lot
Meaning
of
tune out
noise.
news, tune out.
Tune out every like you've got to say to yourself, I can control what I can control.
Whew, yeah.
Right? I can't control what's going on with interest rates.
Hmm.
I can't control what's going on in the US politics and gas prices and all of that
It
stuff.
is what it
It
is.
is what it is. I
Mhm.
can't control what the Bank of Canada is going to say at the next meeting. And I can't control how the consumer confidence affects all this.
Yeah.
What I can control is my routine,
Hmm.
my relationships, and the information that I share. And I think it's funny because we're talking about bringing Sue in and having these conversations and getting ideas from her, and she said back to basics.
Hmm.
And I think that right now AI is a noise. Okay, in our business, it's not
I think
there
I
yet.
think noise is an understatement.
Yeah,
It is it's not background music.
no,
It's
it's concert level,
it's concert level. Yeah.
right?
And now this so oddly enough, that was one of Sue's topics. She goes, talk about AI and how this and that. And we're not here to come in and bash this, that, the other. But what Steve's saying is there's always something out there that'll give you the perception of like FOMO, fear of missing out,
Yeah,
right? And that FOMO is in this instance fueled by the noise, the
yeah,
AI talk, and a lot of what we see, what I would say in our industries right now is a lot of people talking about the AI stuff, saying you've got to be doing this, you've got to be using this, and I did this, and I Claude coded this, and I did this and that, which is awesome. Uh, and here's my counterpoint: that might be something that you dive into as a project to keep things fun,
yep,
right? This might be something that you find really interesting,
yeah,
and it's something that you find worthwhile. You think it's worth it to help your business in this manner, or to take a process and simplify it or expedite it. And that might be one way that you kind of stay motivated, stay
yep,
positive,
yep,
because you have something new, shiny
yeah,
to kind of go after.
yeah.
But
There's the big thing.
here's the but. Um, I think more than ever, it's been important to keep going back to the basics, as you were
Yeah,
saying, right? When it comes to overall business growth
yeah.
and direction.
I think people think that. Listen, I've been in business 18 years doing this. When I got into the business, newspaper was the big thing.
Yeah.
Social media came in, it was the first disruptor that I really saw.
Hmm.
It took out, for the most part, newspaper. Social media has replaced the newspaper. Okay. The next big thing that we faced in our on our side was data sharing. MLSs were closed for the longest
Okay.
point, and we didn't share data. So Niagara was separate from Hamilton, was separate from Kitchener, was separate from blah
You
blah blah
couldn't
blah
go
blah.
on like
You couldn't go
realtor.ca.
on you go on Realtor.ca, but as to get the back end stuff where all the real information is for us,
Okay.
you couldn't see it. I
Okay.
would and without going to Realtor.ca, I wouldn't even know a Toronto agent listed a property here. Okay,
Okay.
so data integration with other boards became the next big thing. And then it became protection of data. And we couldn't let the public have the data because, oh, God forbid the public got information that they could make educated decisions on. And we became these gatekeepers of the information. There's still that mentality out there, which is just absolutely absurd to
Well,
me.
it's
But,
weird because in the States,
oh, they flow data, they sell data.
but it's all public. I can look up a house and see, oh, Steve Oliver owns this house, this house,
Yeah.
this house. Here's what he has
Yeah.
loan wise. Here's blah 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 blah
We've
blah blah
taken
blah.
privacy to the nth degree here. And it really,
So is that common in other countries? Like what's more common around the world for that type of data to be
I don't,
Canadian version or US?
I don't know. I know America sells data, and I think that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. So, like the companies like Compass and Real, and one we actually should talk about some of those mergers, those tech mergers that are happening. But that kind of stuff that happens in the business, they're just disruptors. It's all just about disruption, right? We had it where Zillow, like
Mhm,
Zillow
mhm,
is a huge company in the States, and they're data driven,
mhm.
and they're really successful in the States. They try to bring that here because they can't get the data. They now all
It
of a
doesn't
sudden
work.
it doesn't work
Yeah,
the
I
same,
see what you're
right?
saying.
So we went from that, and now the next big thing is what is AI?
Yeah,
What is AI
and
doing? So we're
and the question does
constantly,
become, are we gonna be replaced? Both of us.
yeah, 100%. And that's what some of these big tech companies think, right? They're not buying brokerages to say, "Hey, we want to be in the real estate business." No, they want to, they're tech companies. When Remax and real brokerage in the state, or real brokers, I can't remember what it's called,
Mhm,
in the States, just bought Remax.
mhm.
It was the big news for a week. They're a tech company. They bought Remax. Well, do you think they wanted to buy 180,000 or how many ever realtors Remax is? Or did they want to buy the data as a tech company to enhance their product
Yeah.
offering? And so that's kind of like you see these things happening and it's negative, negative, negative. What's next? What's next? We're going
Mhm,
to get replaced. We're going to get replaced
mhm,
because that's going to be the next conversation is how does AI and all these tech companies replace us,
mhm.
right? It goes back to the basics. And I think that by setting up your mentality right now is I'm going to talk to the people that I know, love, and trust, that I've worked with before, that I know trust me, that I know there's solutions for, that there's opportunities for, and focus on those people. I think you're going to be a lot happier because you're going to be able to say, I helped this person when they didn't know they needed the help. I helped this person with an opportunity that they never even saw until I
Mhm.
brought it to them. I had this conversation. I set this person up, and I've gotten back to building those relationships with those people,
Au
and then
naturel.
naturally, right? Whether it's picking up the phone, like Sue was saying, or for
Sure.
you and me, we like to text. So
Mhm.
text, but we're building that relationship, and we've taken it back and stepped back and said, okay, take out all the noise, take out all of the crap, and say,
Okay.
I don't need to do any of that stuff anymore.
Let's take a break, and when we come back, we can dive into some steps that we think people can start taking to cut out some of this noise
Sounds
and
good.
to stay positive.
Sounds good.
Wake up to the world you've been missing. Time to jump out of bed in the morning. No day, no life, now we're living. Can you feel it in the air that
And
you're
we're back.
breathing?
We're back. Part
All
two.
right. So, what I wanted us to do here is to dive into some of the actual ways that people, and this is, again, it holds true for what we think in our industries because we're sort of more sales based and we're kind of directly impacted by a lot of the stuff we
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah.
But I think it probably, you can translate it to whatever industry you're in many
Yep.
cases, right? Whether you're in auto sales and people have less disposable income and this, that, the other. But what I think the steps need to be and what maybe some of these habits you build are, first off, do exactly what you said, which is remove the noise, right? So get yourself as far away from this negative news, as far away from this negative social media stuff, as far away from maybe these negative people,
Yep.
right? There might be people at your office or that you've worked with who just happen to constantly bring it up, or it's what they want to talk about. You don't have to cut them out of your life forever,
Yeah.
but just maybe,
I can't do this right now. I,
yeah.
I,
And
and
whether it's intentional or not, or you just go, listen, I'm just going to put them on the shelf for a few weeks.
Yeah, and listen, there's this great button on social media that says snooze, right?
Yeah.
When you see something
Yeah.
that's it's bugging you, snooze it. Like
Yeah.
let it come back in 30 days. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But I just when we do this, it doesn't like I love what I do. Like
Hmm.
I love my job. I love the people that work for me, the people that work with me. I love realtors in general because I think we all and mortgage agents fall in that category. So that in our business, those self-driven people, because we're all in the same boat.
Hmm.
We're all facing the same challenges every single day. So it's easy to get caught up in it. So how do you separate yourself? What steps do you take to say I'm not gonna do that? So you can snooze the people and you can
Hmm.
separate yourself as much as possible.
But to me, that's going to keep the negativity from growing.
Yep.
But you've now got to
Yeah.
instill some habits or some some things that are going to have the positivity grow.
Yeah. So if you've got, when you go, I think the easiest way to start is to go back to your database and start to look at and talk to your database again, because realistically, your database is where 93% of your, for us anyway, 93% of your business
Mhm.
comes from.
And there are people that you've jived with in the past. And the amount of times that I've sent out a little text, just, hey, just checking in. How is this, that, the other? And the conversation that starts, and you're like, ah, that was sick. Like, you are going to be in town. Sick. Let's meet up. Let's
Yeah.
this, let's that.
Right.
And you get fired up from it.
And it could be as simple as going and having coffee, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
going and sitting and chatting for an hour with somebody that you haven't connected with for 4 or 5 months, whatever the case may be, whatever your timing line is. But just say, okay, instead of just trying to have these conversations, let's hook up for a coffee, let's go for a beer, let's go play a round of golf, and start to incorporate other things into your relationships with these people, because they're probably feeling the same negativity.
Mhm.
And if you can go to somebody and say,
Lift them up.
let's just go and have a chat, let's go catch
Yeah.
up and
Go
see
for
what's
a
going
walk.
on.
Let's go
Go
for
for a walk. Elaine in the Ridgeway office, she's doing this thing with the ladies, and it's basically a walking meeting,
nice.
and they're going to go walk the Fort Erie Trail or the Friendship Trail,
Yep.
and just talk shop. And
Yeah.
they're gonna get their steps in. They're gonna try, but they've mixed it up so that they're not just sitting in the office. They're not feeling that negativity.
Getting out in the
Getting
sunshine,
out,
getting some movement,
right? So
which are two big ones.
oh yeah, 100%, 100%. If you sit in the office all day long and don't
Yes.
do anything, and I've been out all over the road this week. Coming in here today was a little weird because I haven't been in all week, but I've been to, I went to Port Dover yesterday, and doing the
All right,
sales
Johnny
meetings and
Cash.
stuff. Yeah,
I've
baby.
been everywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly me. But and even today, like we've got a lunch meeting, and then tomorrow I'm off to St. Catharines. Like, it's just a matter of, okay, how are what am I doing that's different? Because if I sit here, as much as I love sitting in my office and being in that
Yep.
area, it can get to be, you can be your own worst enemy.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people, a lot of agents and mortgage agents as well, have home offices. Get out of your home
You've
office.
talked about that a lot.
Get right now
Yeah.
is not the time to isolate yourself and be in your home office.
Yeah.
Right? Get into the offices, get out into coffee shops. And here's the
Get out
thing.
into the world.
You don't have to meet anybody at a coffee shop.
You can go sit down.
Go sit in the coffee shop and listen to people. People watching is probably one of the best things that you can ever do, entertainment wise.
Ask my wife. That is going to be my hobby when I retire.
Oh yeah. I used to, at Christmas time, we'd take the kids Christmas shopping down to the Penn Center. Aiden and I will actually sit on the bench and just watch it.
Yeah.
And, we have some fun with it. And,
Yeah.
what is this person? What's this person actually talking about with their spouse as they walk by, and you're making up stories?
So much fun.
It's so much fun. But it takes you away from what the task is at hand.
Yeah.
And it gives you that mental break of, because, Christmas shopping is stressful.
Oh.
So we do that. We, we have some fun
The
with it.
stores are insane. This is insane.
Everything.
You hit the nail on the head. I remember one time we were going to a Christmas party. We had to stop at an LCBO. We were pulling out of a parking lot and blah, blah, blah. Somebody did something. They honked, or I honked. Doesn't matter. All of a sudden, I'm at the aisle, and they walk in, and he wants to start a fight with me. I remember looking at him and being like, what is going on here? Like, on the way to a Christmas party, right? The whole season is elevated. So anything you can do at the time to stop and pause and relax, it's amazing. So
yeah, so I think that's one thing that I would do is I would honestly, right now, whatever your routine is, throw it out the window and
change it. Ooh,
change your
that's
routine,
a good one. Yeah,
because humans, we're creatures of habit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I get up in the morning at 9 to 10. I make my phone calls. 10 to 11, I'm doing this. 11 to 12, I'm doing this. If you time block, which, I think most realtors should be doing, but, you do that, flip your day.
Cool.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You really want to start to think differently, flip your day.
Just for, a couple days.
A couple days.
Yeah.
Right. And you will be amazed at how refreshing it is for you. Oh, so ask Sue. I very rarely, unless I'm alone, when I've got people with me in the car, very rarely take the same route twice. So if I go somewhere with somebody, I'm not coming home the same way. And Sue will say to you, I never get to see things from the different perspective because I'm never the passenger. So whenever she's the passenger, she's like looking around and she's looking at stuff and she's getting to enjoy it. And I'm like, I'm never the passenger, so I don't ever
Yeah.
get it. But she's like, this is great,
I
right?
see
Because
different
it
things.
changes
Yeah.
her routine of being the driver. Now all of a sudden she's
Yeah.
a passenger and she's seeing that stuff that, you and I would never kind of take for granted.
Yeah.
I think it's the same principle is change your routine up. Maybe don't go to the office in the morning. Maybe go to the office in the afternoon,
Yeah, that's an
right?
awesome idea. I think the crux of it is try to make things fun,
Yeah.
right? We have this luxury of being able to do whatever we want in terms of how you pick your day, what you do, what you blah blah blah. There are
Yeah.
things that you have to get done, but what can you do to make it fun?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe you take a client out and you or somebody you want to work with and you guys go to Sky Zone and do trampolines or whatever it's called now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Something that's fun. And you're like, "Oh man, I've wanted to mini putt."
Listen, if you're 50 plus, don't listen to Greg. Do not go to Sky Zone.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I don't know why Sky Zone
Yeah,
popped into my
right?
head.
Like,
Go karting, or you know what I
yeah,
mean? Something random where you're like, let's just
And do
go.
it specific to your client, right? Like we talk about client events and doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? Maybe right now it's just about going out and setting aside the business side of it and focusing on because the business will come from the relationship,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't have to be all work all the time. And if you truly value the people that you work with on a regular basis, go and spend some time with these people. Just have a conversation. I had a client his deal closed yesterday. And I messaged him he messaged me Sunday night. He goes, we're done at the house. Just so you know, we've left the keys. We've done what we've got to do. I messaged him and said, you've been an absolute pleasure through this whole process. But now our kind of journey ends together. And he goes, I hope not. And I was like, okay,
Same.
taking that's a great, makes me feel good. But now how do you converse that? And how do you flip that to have some fun with this guy? And I have to figure out that method, to build on that relationship because it's been all work because this was a referral. So I built this relationship with this guy. So what am I going to do? How am I going to make it feel better? Sue and I we had a client that I sold the house. It's funny. The guy that I closed yesterday moved on to a street that I sold the house on last year that my clients moved to Ottawa. So they've got this little thing going on with them. But those clients, we went out to lunch with them before they moved to Ottawa. We just went out and had lunch.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the transaction.
How's things? How's life? How's this? What are your hobbies?
Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Right. And they were significantly older. They were in their 60s than I was.
That's fine.
And we just sat and chatted. I get referrals from them to this day because I took the time. So get out right now. And this is the pushback that we get. I don't have the money right now. A lot of people are saying, okay, but it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to cost any money at all.
It can
for
be
that
as
matter.
simple as something like you were saying, like the walk. Go see the client here, or like make a barbecue day. Like, right?
Have
you can
people
host
over. I had 20 people at the house on the weekend, right?
What were you cooking?
I did barbecue, like I always do my barbecue. And it was, it was a great day, and I got to see people and have some fun. And I didn't think about work from Saturday night when I put that brisket on the barbecue until Sunday once everybody had gone. And I just took 24 hours and said, no comprende.
So
I'm not doing
here's another one that I think a lot of people should consider is find a hobby.
Oh yeah.
Right? Find something that you can sort of pour yourself into that's not work.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think enough people give credit to the impact a hobby can have on you.
Yeah.
Positive impact, right? If you all of a sudden got into mountain biking or like painting figurines or something.
Walking 5K a day, whatever it is,
right?
Yeah.
I normally think, to me, a hobby is something that you spend silly money on.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Golf.
There you go.
For me, it's golf.
Okay. That's one of those things that I go, yeah, hobbies can be expensive, but it's something that brings you tremendous amount of joy. And it gives you the mental break, and it lets you put crazy amount of focus into this thing.
Yeah.
And I think this is a good time to explore hobbies, because when you explore hobbies, you join new clubs. And when you join new
You
clubs,
meet new
you
people.
meet new people.
And then you start to expand your database and your relationships by doing something that you're enjoying as opposed to doing work to build the relationships. So I think that's a huge point. Like there's so many opportunities to do it. It can be through volunteerism, it can be through sports, it
Yeah.
can be through clubs, it can be any number of things. Just do something different,
Do something different. Yeah.
right?
Keep things fresh, change up your routine, make it fun,
Oh, it's got to be fun right now. It's got to be fun.
because you've got to try to uplift yourself. So what about the day-to-day things to grow the business that somebody should be considering to keep themselves positive?
So in the day-to-day grind, so
Yeah,
I,
because you still got to come in and do some
yeah, there's still
work,
an
right?
element that you've got to do. You've got to do the work. I think what one of the things I said to my team yesterday was, now's the time to do your job better.
Okay.
Okay, invest in some skills, invest in some training, but ultimately strive for a little bit of perfection in what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay, and by that I mean no hiccups. No, try to eliminate hiccups and challenges in your business.
Take the extra time.
Take the extra time, because we don't have guns to our heads right now,
Mhm.
right? If you represent a seller, you have to teach your seller that buyers are taking their time. If you represent a buyer, you have to explain to them that there's options, right?
Yeah.
So, I can take that buyer now and do everything in depth, right? Like you may want to rebrand yourself, right? You may
Yes.
say, "Oh, you know what? I had a guy. Actually, it was it was a lady yesterday, a realtor talking to me, and she said, I have this skill set. I've been a property manager. I own restaurant or properties. I've got all this stuff, and I think that's the avenue I'm going to take." And I'm like, "Well, you obviously enjoyed that before. You've
Yeah.
done it for a thing.
Lean into it.
Maybe now is the time to say, repackage yourself and say, hey, I'm going to do it based on this,
Yeah,
right?
I think that is
Right?
amazing, because you can look at your existing business or little projects you've wanted to do, list them,
Yeah.
and go, okay, I got a little time. This is because there's always these things that we've intended to get to. Oh, I've been meaning to
Clean my garage.
whatever. Yeah, things as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
And I think of little projects with our business, right? Oh, I've always wanted to expand social media, or I've always wanted to clean this up, or do that, or
Yep.
start this, or run a trivia night. I don't know.
Sure.
Or build my business in terms of like that lady did. I want to lean into a certain
Yeah.
niche.
Yep.
Take the time and plan it out, and give yourself a roadmap to start working towards it. You now have the time to work on these
Yep.
mini projects.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are in this mentality that they got to double down and work twice as hard right now. I think you got to work smarter right now,
That's
because
interesting.
I think that because we have the time,
Mhm.
you can develop systems that make your life easier when it does get busy,
Mhm.
which means that your enjoyment of the business will last longer.
Yeah, and you're prepared for the storm when it comes.
Yeah,
right?
like this is not going to last forever.
No.
People need to understand that at some point we're going to come out of this
Mhm.
this negative mindset that we're in, and I don't know when that's going to be.
No,
I
and
keep pointing to the first Tuesday in November, which is election day in the United States, and whether or not that's going to change anything, who knows. We've got certainty here in our government now for a number of years, so I think that there's some stability there. But I think that you've got to say, okay, I wanted to do this. I really wanted to do this, and I've done this exercise myself. I hate my listing presentation as a perfect example. I took my 27-page listing presentation and made it into 5 or 6 different booklets
Hmm.
that I can hand out at different phases
Mhm.
of the
Small
process.
chunks.
Smaller chunks,
Yep.
easier to consume. Consumers more likely to keep it. That was something, the project of mine. I actually had the time to do it.
Well,
So I've got it completed now. Now I've
it
just got
gives
to
you that, like,
roll
a
it out.
creative outlet,
Yeah.
something you
So
got to focus your attention and energy
and
on.
whatever you choose with that, whether that's to do the webinars and the seminars or to do what we're doing today, or,
Yeah.
like I had the ladies in last week and we were talking about, doing interviews with them, and I'm going to do some roundtable conversations and stuff and record all of that stuff. It's stuff that I like to do because it gets people talking about real estate. It gets people thinking about different perspectives, and it's fun to me. It actually is fun when we come in here and do this.
Mhm.
So it takes me away from, it may take me away from doing a bank reconciliation today. That'll be there tomorrow,
Yeah.
right?
Not
Like,
going anywhere.
it's not going anywhere. And I think when you start to say, I'm gonna do things, add things to the business that are fun to me that aren't necessarily business. If that
Yeah.
makes sense,
Yeah, 100%.
right? Like
Try to do the things that are gonna be fun.
yeah, because and if you do it and you enjoy it, that's what you double down on. Right.
Yeah.
Like we started this podcast. This is episode 41 or something like that. So we've been doing this for a year and we're still going at it. But after 6 months of doing that, I started to add in the videos to my team because now,
Right.
So now I've got that aspect of it. And we're about to start doing one with a bunch of broker records where we're going to start to get together and talk,
Yeah.
talk about that stuff. So this is fun to me now.
Yeah, and
So
to your point of we don't know when this ends, it might end for somebody tomorrow. They may all of a sudden come out and be like, no, things are good, business picked up, or the news changed, I'm not paying attention. It's going to be individual.
yeah,
In
absolutely.
many cases, right? But the crux of this is that you may encounter these periods again in business
Yep.
or in the outside world, whatever it is. But here are some things that we think you could then start doing.
Yeah.
And it's kind of stop, smell the roses, and sort of realign your vision for where you want to go.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people say to me this year, for example, I feel like all I'm doing is CMAs and getting nowhere.
Uh-huh.
And actually, one of the agents called me. She said, I've done more CMAs this year than I've done in the last 5 years, and I haven't gotten any business. I'm like, it'll come.
Mhm.
Like, you're doing the right things. If you're getting the CMAs,
Mhm.
at some point it's going to come. That was about 3 weeks ago. She said it to me. She's done 5 deals and 4 listings since
Since then.
that conversation, because that's it was
There was a lag time.
it's her time.
Yeah.
Right. It's her time right now. And I think that, we're so worried about the next transaction that we don't see the 4 that come after the next transaction.
Yeah.
Right. And we get so focused and so driven on that, where we could just say, listen, I'm going to go and do my thing. I'm
It's
going to
funny.
do what I know worked 5 years ago, and I'm not going to let the market dictate my mood, my abilities, my skill set. I'm going to make my own business.
It's if you told somebody that if they did for every 4 CMAs they do, they'd close a deal, how fast would they be ripping through these?
Yeah.
Right? Which is kind of, I'm sure there is a ratio,
Oh, 100%.
right? But you're in the moment not cognizant of it.
Yeah.
You're thinking another one,
Yep.
another one, and I haven't seen any business because I'm doing another one and another one. Well, and then in her example, all of a sudden, deal closed, deal closed, deal closed, and you're going, well, I've done a CMA in a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of a lag time here, but
Yeah.
it paid off.
And so she's setting up her year and still doing the things that she enjoys outside of it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be anything monumental.
Mhm.
Small changes into your habits will create big results.
Yeah, it's like you're steering a cruise ship, not a speedboat,
Yeah.
right?
That's a great analogy, because what you do today may take 3 months to have any impact
Yeah.
whatsoever. Vanessa Wilson, has done her YouTube videos. She's done it religiously for 2 years.
Yeah.
Got a deal out of it.
Mhm.
She can now point to the time, energy, and effort and now know that she's on the right track.
She's getting better at it. She's getting faster at it. She's getting
Right.
more comfortable. And it's a creative outlet also.
Yeah, I think a creative outlet is huge. But she's also, once you see the reward and you realize that you've enjoyed doing it to get to the reward, you're going to be like, oh, I can do this.
Mhm.
And it changes simply your mindset. Right?
Yeah, I think to see it works,
Yeah.
all of a sudden those pieces click.
Yeah. Okay. Seems like a good place to take a break.
All right.
Wake up to the world you've been missing. Time to jump out of bed in the morning. No day, no life, now we're living. Can you feel it in the air?
back to our last segment for the week.
Yeah, we've been talking about how to stay positive in a tough business environment, in a tough global environment.
Yeah.
And we say that I think what we're trying to get across is that there's a lot of negativity in the world these days, along with, a lot of negativity and tough times in our real estate industry.
Yep.
And we're trying to sort of lay out a bit of a framework, a game plan for somebody that they can
Yeah.
use to get out of a funk or to get out of the negativity,
Yeah.
get that cloud away from you, let the sunshine come out. We've talked about how the first thing would be to remove the noise,
Yeah.
remove that negative noise. The second thing you probably want to do is find a way to make work fun again,
Yeah.
right? Hang out with the people you enjoy, interact with them. The people that give you energy, make them a priority.
Yep. Change things up in your day-to-day
Change things
routine.
up, yeah. Change routine, get out of the rut, do
Yeah.
something different, maybe find a hobby,
Hobby's huge.
get a creative outlet.
Yep.
But one of the last things that we were just kind of chewing the cud on was take a break.
Yeah. I think that we, one of the kind of off-air pieces that we were talking about was this is not going to last forever.
Yeah.
Right. So this is going to be one of those situations where at some point it's going to end. So what we're talking about really right now is the time between now and when we really truly see a market shift.
Mhm.
Right. And one of the things that we've become accustomed to because the market has been so steady.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's had the chaos in there, but for the most part, we have not seen a true period like this for about 10 or 11 years, which normally by now we've seen. This is we should be in the second cycle of it, but we go 24 hours a day, 7 days a week,
Yeah.
and very rarely do we say, "Not today."
Yeah.
Not today. Like there's, we were talking before about cleaning my garage, okay,
Mhm.
and I said to Sue, I said, this Saturday, it doesn't matter what happens, whether the weather's crap, whatever the case
I'm
may
doing
be,
it.
I'm doing it. I'll have the phone in the garage for emergencies, but my staff know if I don't answer, I'm in the garage and I'm doing this because I need it. I need to do something to feel like my whole world isn't real estate all the
Yeah.
time.
Well, I
Right.
think the other side of that I think a lot of folks see on social media is that like hustle
Yeah.
culture, right?
Yeah.
I'm grinding 24/7. I'm crushing real estate deals left, right, and center. I wake up at 5 a.m. I go to bed at 11, and my life is boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
unsustainable.
well, yeah, for probably 99% of people out there,
Yeah.
just take a break. Go clean the garage,
Yeah.
like you said. Like you'll feel
Whatever it is, go plant a
productive.
garden. Do whatever.
Yeah,
We're at that time of year too where we've been cooped up for so long,
yeah,
and this year
and
has
it's been cold
it's been cold, it's
and
been
rainy.
damp and miserable.
Yes.
You get some nice weather, get outside. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter what it is. Listen, we can do work from anywhere, and that's the other thing I think a lot of people, forget. You can go on vacation and work while you're away and
Yeah.
not feel like, like you're in the day-to-day grind. If you've got a cottage, go work from the cottage for a week.
Yeah.
Right? Just changing your place
scenery.
will give you, like infinite number of opportunities to just say
Yeah.
and decompress. Like Ron Varmeyer from The Office asked me the other day, said, when's the trailer open? I said, well, park opens on May 1st. I won't go for the first couple of weeks
That's
because
probably going to be frigid
it's
or
freezing at
yeah.
night, and I don't want to freeze at night. I don't need to. I'm basically too old for that crap.
Mhm.
But I said to him, I'm completely set up there that I can work from
You could
there,
work for an entire week and a half,
and
2
nobody
weeks.
would ever know
Yeah.
other than me not being sitting in the office.
Yeah, if
right?
you're on a Zoom call and you got the
Yeah, I thought, but I've done Zoom from within the trailer. I've done it from the front deck of the
nobody
trailer.
would care.
Nobody would give a
No.
damn as long as I'm there doing what I need to do for them. And for me, just being able to sit there during the day when nobody's at the park and stare off and see the deer literally walk across
Yeah.
in front of me or whatever the case may be.
Here's the other thing in that sort of world is plan a little reward.
Oh, we talked about this with our 13 week that we got away from.
Yeah.
Reward yourself, guys. Like, it doesn't have to be anything huge either. right? A day off to go to, like I did it with Aiden a few weeks
Go
ago.
watch a movie, like go to the cinema at like
Yeah,
1
like
o'clock in the
a
afternoon or
buddy of
whatever.
mine calls me on Tuesday night and says, "Hey, you want to go to Toronto and see the hockey game tomorrow night?" I'm like, "Man, the Leafs suck. I don't know if I really want to go and watch that." But he says
Yes.
they're great seats. They're in the lower bowl. I've got four
Nice.
seats. One's at one end. One pair's at one end. One pair's at the other. I'm like, "No problem." I said to him, I said, "Do you want to make a day of it? Like to take the boys up and we'll make
Yeah.
a boys' day?" And all we did was walk the streets of Toronto.
Hang out, grab a
Hang out.
coffee, grab some lunch. What else are we doing? You want to
Yeah.
go see this?
Yeah, we went
Want to
to
sit down on the bench, grab
we
some
w-
street meat?
we walked from Skydome to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Nice.
And I said, let's go to the Hockey Hall of Fame. I'd never been.
Well, that's the other side of it. Doing something like that,
Spontaneous.
but it takes time to walk.
Oh, yeah.
You're walking, you're seeing, you're stopping, like
Yeah, you get away from the I got to be there all the time mentality, right? Like I look at some people and like, and some of it's staged, trust me, like when the content that you see and like they're making themselves look busy and they, failing to mention that all that content was recorded in one day and spread out over a month's worth of posting. So there is an element of that. But realistically, the most successful people, I think, understand that it's okay to say, I'm not doing it today. I'll be there tomorrow. Time blocking is huge for realtors when it comes to that. I said this to the group before that I used to be 5 to 7, turn my phone off.
in the evening.
In the evening.
Gotcha.
That was my dinner time with the family, et cetera, et cetera.
Untouchable time.
I can't do that now because of my broker role. But that being said, there's a lot of times where I just say, I'll message you back at 6:30, quarter to 7, whatever the case may be. And I don't take it in that instant. It's okay to push something to this, right? There is, it's not 5 years ago where you had to make a decision on buying a house within 20 minutes of walking in the door, right? We're not there anymore. So it's okay to kind of just say, I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm going to do this tomorrow, this tomorrow. Trust me when I say this, people, as one of, I say this all the time, busy's a made up word. We're not that busy. We're not that busy.
If it means enough to you, you'll make time for it.
Right.
Yeah.
But it also means that the work will be there tomorrow.
Yeah. It's tough for some people to come to terms with that.
Yeah.
Right.
And even my staff.
The to-do list that never ends. It's okay.
But your to-do list should never end.
Yeah.
If you're in business, your to-do
you're tweaking, you're changing, you're adding, you're removing.
Yeah. But even my staff, like I've got a couple of staff members that I'll go into the office at 5:30. I'm like, what are you still doing here? Well, I got this to do. No, go home. It'll be there tomorrow. Right. And as an employer, I think that's a huge thing to say to your staff. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're not going to hear from me if that doesn't get done tonight. Simply say to me, I didn't get there. I'm going to do it tomorrow. No problem.
First thing. Sure.
I'm good. There's nothing that, and if I need it as the broker owner or the broker realtor who needs it, I'll go and do it myself. If it's that pressing to me, I don't need to do that. I don't need to put that pressure on other people.
Yeah.
Don't put the pressure on yourself, right? It's okay.
Know when to take it off.
Oh yeah. You can't,
or to let up.
You can't have your foot on the gas pedal all the time. There are times where you're going to have to just acknowledge the fact that I need to slow down.
Yeah, and I think that's the big one.
Right.
I think know when to slow down, take the break, pause, rest, recharge, and come back reinvigorated.
Yeah. And if that means a weekend in Toronto or a weekend, away just at a spa, do it. Don't just listen. This is going to sound cheesy. Tomorrow's never guaranteed.
Yeah.
And we act like, as realtors and mortgage agents, we act like tomorrow will be there.
A lot of people are planning 12, 14, 24 months in advance, right?
I plan next week. And that's, that's as far as I go. So, unless something agreed or something big is coming up, but it's okay to just take it slow and you can still be productive and be slow.
Yeah.
Right. Like you don't have to do everything all at once. It'll be there tomorrow. Take that afternoon off, just pack it in and say, you know what, I'm not adulting this afternoon.
Yeah.
I'm
blowing off.
I'm
Tuesday
afternoon. I'm blowing off Tuesday afternoon.
Let's go get patio
Let's
beers
go sit and have a beer somewhere, right? And once the weather gets warmer, and just say, I'm gonna go be human, right? Like who knows? I got up this morning, it was 3 degrees. I was like, what happened?
Yeah, it's
it's May.
Yeah,
you should be getting snow in May in parts of the country.
The first week of May. Today's the 7th.
It's over. Yeah.
I mean, not to date this or anything.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So listen, I think that invest in yourself
Yeah.
will go a long way. Invest in the quality of life that you have to be able to do those things, and I think it will help you mentally and physically to a certain point
To
because
reset.
to reset.
Yeah.
And I think once you reset, you'll find new energy, and when you find that new energy, you can do the things that
Yeah.
you weren't
You
necessarily
can start your
dreading.
next marathon,
Yeah, exactly. Who's going to run a marathon?
right?
You
Oh,
know,
I meant the marathon of
oh yes,
business,
yes. Oh
right?
yeah. Well, but that and it is a marathon, and you
Yeah.
have to treat it like that, right? Like you can't, you don't go out today and say I'm going to
I'm
go
gonna
run a
run.
marathon,
I know, you gotta build it up.
right? So take the time, build it up, get better at what you're doing, and enjoy the time that we've got.
All right.
All
I think
right,
it's a great place to end it.
sounds good to me.
Bye.
Bye.